Daniel Defoe, Robinson Crusoe, Part 159. And go and fetch our muskets and other firearms which, for want of time, we had left upon the place of battle. And the next day I ordered him to go and bury the dead bodies of the savages, which lay open to the sun and would presently be offensive. I also ordered him to bury the horrid remains of their barbarous fest, which I could not think of doing myself, nay, I could not bear to see them if I went that way, all which he punctually performed and effaced the very appearance of the savages being there, so that when I went again I could scarce know where it was, otherwise than by the corner of the wood pointing to the place. I then began to enter into a little conversation with my two new subjects, and first I sent Friday to inquire of his father what he thought of the escape of the savages in that canoe, and whether we might expect a return of them with a power too great for us to resist. His first opinion was that the savages in the boat never could live out the storm which blew that night they went off, but must of necessity be drowned or driven south of those other shores where they were as sure to be devoured as they were to be drowned if they were cast away. But as to what they would do if they came safe on shore, he said he knew not, but it was his opinion that they were so dreadfully frightened with the manner of their being attacked, the noise, and the fire, that he believed they would tell the people they were all killed by thunder and lightning, not by the hand of man, and that the two which appeared with Friday and I were two heavenly spirits of furies come down to destroy them, and not men with weapons. This he said he knew because he heard them all cry out so in their language one to another, for it was impossible for them to conceive that a man could dart fire and speak thunder and kill at a distance without lifting up the hand, as was done now. And this old savage was in the right, for as I understood since, by other hands, the savages never attempted to go over to the island afterwards. They were so terrified with the accounts given by those four men, for it seems they did escape the sea, that they believed whoever went to that enchanted island would be destroyed with fire from the gods. This, however, I knew not, and therefore was under continual apprehensions for a good while, and kept always upon my guard with all my army. For as there were now 4 of us, I would have ventured upon 100 of them fairly in the open field at any time. Chapter 17. Visit of mutinies. In a little time, however, no more canoes appearing, the fear of their coming wore off, and I began to take my former thoughts of a voyage to the main into consideration, being likewise assured by Friday's father that I might depend upon good usage from their nation on his account if I would go. But my thoughts were a little suspended when I had a serious discourse with the Spaniard, and when I understood that there were 16 more of his countrymen and Portuguese who, having been cast away and made their escape to that side, lived there at peace, indeed with the savages, but were very sore put to it for necessaries and indeed for life. I asked him all the particulars of their voyage, and found they were a Spanish ship bound from the Rio de la Plata to the Havana, being directed to leave their lodging there, which was chiefly hides and silver, and to bring back what European goods they could meet with there.